Welcome back to Ashley and Savannah. Just kidding. We need to talk. We really need to talk today.
They need to not be talking, so we need to wait. Quiet on set! He just comes out and slaps me. This is my house.
That might be... We're like up close and personal today. I like it.
And today's the worst day to do this. Welcome back to... You have dog hair on you. Oh no, it's just your hair.
Apparently I have dog hair.
Hi, welcome back to We Need to Talk, you guys.
It's been an interesting morning. I'm sick.
Rough. Excuse me, gentlemen? Yeah, okay. She's sick if you couldn't hear.
Yeah, I'm dying, and
I'm dying from a different form called alcohol abuse. Wait, that's abuse where you get hit, right?
You say alcohol abuse?
Like I abused it. Cut that. 1, 2, 3. Hey guys, welcome back.
Welcome back to We Need to Talk. I'm Ashley.
I'm Savannah, and we are rough.
We are
on
rough
this Sunday.
Today.
Yeah.
Today is the Lord's Day, and we were not holy.
This weekend, I took a shower this morning to wash away my sins.
We're working.
She's sick.
I am sick. I was deathly ill like 3 days ago. I really thought that it was my time.
And it was.
It honestly was. So I do apologize if I start dying and hacking up along in the middle of this, but it's fine.
Yep, and I just don't have an excuse. I just drink way too much.
She doesn't all the time. Don't worry. She's not
I'm
an
usually responsible.
She's usually the responsible one.
But Mama let loose this weekend. And,
yeah.
Maybe that'll be a story for another time.
Story for another day.
But, regardless, we are here for you.
Yes.
And we want...
Sorry.
It's fine. We'll wait.
Edit.
Cut.
Yep.
Okay. But we wanted, or I wanted to, she wanted to apologize. We know that we've been gone for probably over 2 weeks now. But I was gone for filming for over 10 days.
She left me for 10 days.
And we were trying to film prior so that we could put them while I was gone. But I was deathly ill. I had blistered, sunburn on my face.
Yeah, it was bad.
It was horrible. That's a whole other story we have to get into. But we're going to do a whole entire podcast on my filming experience. It was insanity. I want to wait to do it until the film is actually in the process of being made, so I don't do anything with the lawsuit. There's just so much drama that went on that I couldn't even make up. Like actors leaving the set, the movie being canceled while we're on set, death scenes not being filmed, crying. It was a horror film, and it was horror.
It was a horror.
Yeah. But that's why we have not posted anything. It is not due to us not caring.
We've been talking about it the past 2 weeks, but we've just been... It's been crazy.
Yeah.
I'm getting a new car tomorrow. My car is being sold. I was sick. You
got scammed?
Oh, I got scammed. I sold my camera. That is a story for another time. And I didn't get the money from it.
Yeah, after you already sent it away. I had a life awakening moment while I was on set of the movie, and the movie completely changed my life, as cheesy as it sounds. It showed me how hardworking I'm willing to be, working 18 plus hours, filming until 7 a.m. and then sleeping for 2 hours and going again. Realized my career goals, what I have to do to get to them, my personal goals, what I need in my life to be completely happy, just so much. But we will touch on that all in another podcast, because there is so much. But that was the longest intro, but we just kind of wanted to explain where we've been. It's been kind of 3 weeks, I think, since we posted our last podcast, and we have missed doing this. So that's why, even though I'm hungover and she's dying, we're we are doing this so that we finally can get back on schedule.
Yes.
She's going to Coachella next week.
So exciting!
So we're just trying to get in the groove before everything goes back to crazy. But today, Ashley had the idea for our podcast.
Yes, I wanted to talk to you guys about like finances, which sounds so weird in our realm of industry, but financial things are probably one of the first and foremost, like, stuff that you should know on a daily, being a photographer, a model, a freelance of any sort. You want to make sure that you know how to get in and out with your money, and always know, like,
keeping track of it.
Yeah, like where your money's going and
wrong.
where you're getting your money from, because I know that a lot of us starting out, we get into that, like, we don't know where our next paycheck is coming from kind of deal, which really sucks. And that's honestly one of the biggest things that I've been dealing with recently.
Yeah,
is
same.
like
not getting paid gigs, and it's like, what is happening?
It's like, where are all of the paying people? Because
where did you go?
I'm looking for answers and they're not here. And so
I'm looking for money and it's not in my bank account.
Yeah.
And I don't know what's changed.
Yeah, so it definitely has just spiraled within the last few months. Mm-hmm. So I was telling Savannah we should talk about things to help others out that we've kind of learned along the way and are still learning.
Yeah,
because we're still in it.
So young and into it, like new to it.
Yeah.
Well, because I think we went to lunch and we were talking about the podcast, and then I randomly brought up how I had to sign papers for my taxes.
Yeah.
And you were talking about how you owe and this and that. And I was talking about how this year was the first year that I actually wrote off myself as like a business for my acting and modeling.
Yeah.
And
which I was like, I didn't even know that I was allowed to do that.
I didn't know either. My mom was just like, make an Excel spreadsheet of all your expenses, all your miles, your makeup that you had to buy for shoots, your clothes, your this, your that, like your acting classes that you do every week, all of that. And I was like, wait, I can do that?
Right.
Like, and she had told me this a long time ago, but it's before I was really into acting and modeling. So it wasn't even that much money. Like, I was like, okay, a couple bucks here and there.
Yeah.
But this year it was so much, and I did the math, and I like had to log it all and go back, and
yeah,
it was thousands and thousands of dollars that I've put into this.
Right.
So in return, then you can like write it off and get stuff like that. And there's specific apps. And the guy that does our taxes was like, get the app, like just take pictures of all your receipts so you know these specific amount. You know, your miles that you drive, trips you have to go on.
And that's huge for me, because I definitely tell people, I'm like, oh yeah, I can travel to you. And then later on, I'm like, I have no money. I'm like, I don't know.
They're not paying for your expenses to get there. Like for the movie I just did, people had to fly out. There's people that flew in from Texas, Atlanta, California, because we were filming here in Arizona.
Yeah.
And they didn't pay for them to fly out.
Yep.
So I'm like, that is a huge write-off right there. That's a huge tax
write-off, yeah.
Like $1,000 to come out here. So, but I mean, that just shows you how passionate people are about
definitely
getting a gig.
Yeah. And I feel like one of the biggest ways that you could probably save on any type of like equipment or any sort of thing that you need to use. I know Savannah had a couple tips on this as well, but for me, for photography, I really believe in investing. Obviously, save your money and invest in something good, so you're not constantly spending money on stuff that sucks. Yeah, because
just make the big investment from the get-go if you know that you're truly going to be using it.
Yep. If you're really, really serious about something, wait until you can finally get that, new camera, or, don't buy the used camera that is gonna fail on you.
Crap out.
Yeah, not even, a few months after you start using it.
Yeah.
So definitely buying stuff that is worth it will save you a lot of money in the end.
Yeah.
As well as if you want to try out bigger purchases and not actually spend the money, renting camera equipment is actually like a really, really nice way of trying stuff out. And not, obviously you'll have to spend a little here and there to get the equipment, but you won't have to spend the mass amount of money first, and you can try it out and then save up and be like, oh, I really, really want this. So then again, we'll make another big investment to progress in our work and whatnot. So,
and like, that's something that you would write.
Yeah.
And I'm like a child. I don't know anything about taxes. I'm not an adult. Like, even though I should be, like, people my age are talking about 401ks and having babies, but I'm not. Nope, so
not
bear with us. We don't know near anything, but that is something that you can write off. And like getting an app where I was like, she's like, I'm sure there's so many expenses that you've forgotten about, and like this is just a gist. She's like, you probably have so much more money that you've invested,
right.
Especially like my trips to LA, like the Airbnb, the gas to get there, the food, like the only part of trips that I like when I do trips for modeling or acting that I'm getting paid for, if at all, is just the shoot itself. It is nothing else that
goes into it.
Right. Yeah, the outfits I have to be in, the bikini, like unless it's a collab or it's this or that, which I try to, for those kind of scenarios where it's traveling, I try to only do it for those kind of gigs, so I'm not out of money.
Yeah, definitely.
Or at least it's like an even fair trade. But that's all stuff that you could be writing off and hopefully making back, or this, just that, trying to
keep
track of
it.
Definitely
keeping track, because I know for me, like with my gas receipts, I'm one that I'm like, I don't want that piece of paper, like no receipt on the gas pump, like Same. I'm not. But now thinking about it, I'm like, oh my gosh, like I'm always filling up my gas tank, and most of it is to go to shoots. So it's like I was on my way back from this last shoot, and I was like, oh, maybe I should start actually printing out gas receipts and saving it.
Yeah, well, and there's ones where the apps where you can just take a picture of the receipt.
Yeah.
And like log it. It'll like, you can do like, this is for gas. This is
for food. The
makeup, the class. Like I take classes every single week, every single month that are not cheap, and it's like that's something you could be writing off. And I know you were giving tips just now on how to kind of either save money or invest for photography or even videography.
Definitely.
Like the movie I was just on, they had rented all of their gear, and it was like huge. Obviously, like it's not just a little Canon.
Yeah.
It was like all this huge equipment, and it like so many pieces, rooms full of it. And they're like, yeah, we rented all of that. So it's like, obviously. Renting is a very big part of that kind of stuff, especially videography. But bouncing off of like that and how to save money, for me, there's like plenty of ways and that you can save money for modeling. Like I think I was just telling her how I did a shoot a couple weeks ago, and it's like people all the time, even when I'm working with brands, they'll like go buy all these really nice clothes, they'll just freaking keep the tags, so they like undo them, have you shoot in them, you can't get them dirty, you just wear them for that 1 hour and then go return it.
Yep.
So it's like I hear a lot of girls be like, oh my god, I really want to shoot in this really cute Free People outfit.
Yes.
Or this da-da-da. And obviously don't be gross about it, and don't go and like wear it clubbing, and you know what I mean? But wear it for that 1 hour.
Right.
Be very careful with it. Don't sweat in it and be nasty. Like be respectful about it. Like anytime that I do have the photographer do that and they like bring it and they're like, be careful with it. It's like, but if something does happen, like we'll just have to keep it.
Yes.
So obviously don't be like obnoxious with it.
Yeah.
But that's a big way you can save money. If there's like this certain idea and you really want it, and the only way to get it is, that one outfit or that one this. Like, I'm not saying to do it to be fake and act like those are your clothes that you're like, I'm saying do it where it's an actual photo shoot and where it's like that they usually bring the clothes, so they're not usually like, don't sit there and take selfies and act like you just got a Gucci belt or something. Yeah, right, exactly. And it's never like that. Like all this stuff that I shoot in is like, you don't know the brand, blah blah blah. But that's a huge thing where you can save hundreds of dollars.
Yeah.
Okay, Ruth. You just had to flap your ears. So I would say like, outfits and stuff like that. You can go take them for the day and then go return. Even for props and stuff, like even the last really creative shoot I did, even just asking your friends. I wanted to do one with a weird, funky, like wigs and stuff in the middle of the desert and this and that, and I'm like, reach out to Ashley, got wigs, reach out to this person, got this weird outfit, like, but even in that scenario, we still got props. Like we had a huge like disco ball, and we're like, okay, we're never gonna use this again. Don't let it hit the floor. Like be respectful about it, but like just use it. And then we went and returned it, and it was like a $60 like disco ball.
Oh my gosh!
I'm like, they'll never know. So it's just like stuff like that where it's things that you wouldn't use daily, but to get the shot that you would want, there's ways to save and be smart. Reach out to your friends, raid your other friends' closets. If someone has wigs, go wear their wigs. Stuff like that. So that's a big thing that I would recommend if you're trying to save when you're doing collabs and photo shoots. Another thing that I would recommend is like when you're collabing and it's something where neither of you are getting paid, so you're not working with a brand, you're not trying to only please them, it's a give and take.
Yeah.
Be mindful if you're trying to save money and stuff of like, with me, I'm very mindful of my miles because I lease my car. when you're like collabing and there's like room for change and it's not the specific one thing and you're trying to be mindful of saving money or miles or whatever it may be, even your time, don't be scared if they like say, let's meet at this place and it's like an hour and a half, 2 hours from you. Don't be scared to be like, well, can we meet more in the middle? Like that place isn't only specifically there. We can get that same look here.
Yes.
And I think that's one big thing that has saved me a lot, because where I live, it's super far out. Like I live where there's like farms and like cows and not in the city.
Middle of nowhere.
Yeah. And so a lot of the shoots are wanting to be done in the city or this or that.
Yeah.
But there's cities that are like an hour away or 2 hours away.
Yes.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I think a huge thing for me has been not just be like, okay, yeah, when it's like a shoot where I'm not getting paid, it's not my idea. I'm just doing it to do it.
Yeah.
But I'm like, no, if it's something where we're both trying to collaborative, like, be on this together, like, it's a team, and I shouldn't have to...
Other ideas.
And you just get to drive 10 minutes, and I have to drive 2 hours.
Yep.
So that's a big thing, and I try to put it in the first message, like, yeah, I'm out here in Queen... Or, wait, I'm not going to say where I live. Like... I try to say it in my first kind of interaction with them when we're talking, like, oh, yeah, I live blah, all the way out here, and just make them mindful of it.
Right.
And then still, if they don't get it, and if that place is, like, only there, like I was saying, I just try to speak up and
be like, I have other spots that are probably
Yeah.
just as good, and finding places that actually work for both parties is always nice.
I'm always like, yeah, it's a little bit further, but like, if that's what you truly want, like, that's fine,
Right.
Just wanted to throw it out there and be kind about it. Don't be like, you come to me. And obviously when that's like brand work or with a company, I'm not gonna really say that, like, I'm getting paid and you hired me. So definitely don't just like act like you're the shit and be like, I'm not going anywhere.
I'm not going anywhere out there.
It's just certain situations where there's room to save money, there's room to save time, and there's room to save your miles or whatever, that you can also be implying like little things. So that's a big thing that I've really learned this year, and like speaking up and saying it. And then also with your rates, when you are getting paid, and you deserve to get paid your rates, like your rates are there for a reason. Don't budge. And that was something that was really hard for me, because I'm like, well, if I like say no, this is my rates, I could just lose it completely.
Yes, that's
and
how
then
I
not
was
make
too.
any money.
Yep.
So, but if they want to work with you and they see that quality, like, they can spend that extra couple, 20, 30, 40 bucks.
Yeah, like,
they're
on
usually
working with you.
They usually want it like half off or something. But it's like, no, and if you keep doing that, you're not going to attract the people
that you want to work with, that have the same money mindset that you do. I know I had a guy message me a month or so ago, and he was talking about, oh, I work for this car company, like, you should give me the hookup, blah blah blah, like, do this photo shoot for like nothing. And I was like, no, I was like, this is my set rate, this is the lowest I can go for you, like, I'm sorry, but this is it, like, that's it. And so at first he was like, oh, well, do you think you could do this price? And I was like, no. I was like, I'm sorry, like, no. I was like, if you want to find another photographer, I was like, I have a couple of people that might be in your price range. He was like, no, I like your work. He was like,
if they're reaching out to you, they're reaching out to you for a reason.
And honestly, like, if you explain to people, like, this is what the cost is for, like, my
just
time,
like any other job.
Like, any other job, like, you're using up your time, you're using up, your gas mileage, you're using your camera equipment.
Well, and even when you're done with the shoot,
I have to edit.
You're not done. Like, there's still a whole other process of working.
And people, I really don't think, like, see like or understand that. Yeah. And so finally I told him, I was like, if you want to find a photographer who will do it for pretty much nothing, I can try to find you that. He was like, no, I'm not asking you to do it for free. And I was like, okay. I was like, then I don't know where we're going with this, because you're not paying me $20 for a photo shoot. That's like more than, that's less than it is to fill up my car for a full tank of gas. So it definitely is like...
Sorry.
Are you okay?
Just throw up everywhere.
I literally was like, all right, that's how today's going. But yeah, so just finding people who want to match your just match your money mindset.
Well, and I would understand if you're reaching out to people. Like, don't be like, hey, if you ever need a model, I'm here. These are my rates. Like that.
Yes.
Obviously, reach out and try and work with as many brands and companies as you want. But in those cases, don't be surprised if they're like, yeah, I want to shoot with you, but let's collab. Or, yeah, I want to shoot with you, but at a lower rate. Like, they're not coming to you, so you kind of have to take that with a grain of salt. Yeah. But when it's people reaching out to you, they like your work. They found you because of your Instagram. They've been following you for a while.
Yeah.
These are my rates. Like, you're coming to me and you're wanting something from me. I'm giving you a service. Yep. So I would say that's the biggest thing. Like, don't budge in those case scenarios. Like, those scenarios. I don't know what I just came out of my mouth.
Case scenarios. Yeah.
But, and that's another way that'll boost. And then, you know, the word will get spread. They'll be telling people, like, what your rate is, what you're starting. And I always like to say that my starting rate.
Yes.
Or I say, depending on my project, my starting rate starts at 75 and can go up to 150.
Yep.
So then you're not stuck at that either. Or if, you know, they suggest you for something else with their friends, blah, blah, blah.
Yes.
It's not, oh, this is how much you charge. I'm like, this, depending on the project.
Depending on the project, for sure. Because that has been one of my biggest things is when you get... You know, your information gets given to someone else that you've been working with, and they're like, oh, well, you gave this person this price.
Rate, yeah.
And that is why you guys should never give... It's really, really hard as, like, an influencer, like someone over Instagram. You're always telling people your rates over text message. You're always telling people your rates over... Instagram and all of that, but really, really try to have meetings, like actual first. And it's so hard when you're first starting out because you're terrified and you're like, I don't want to meet up with these people first. Like, I'd rather just do the shoot and get it over with.
Or you think that they're like above you or something.
Yeah, and it's like, honestly, it's like, meet up with these people, give them your rates face to face because that's word of mouth. Obviously, they can tell other people like what rate you gave them, but in confidence, usually, like when you sign a sort of contract like that, you should make sure that like your rates don't really start getting out there like that. Like, obviously people can be like, oh, she's much more, like, I'm a cheaper option for she's an
affordable model.
Yeah, like definitely
an
affordable, just someone that you can work with that's going to be a lot easier.
Yeah.
But the thing is that you don't want other people, like bigger brands, to be like, oh, you only charge
that's
this
super
much.
cheap.
That's super cheap.
Because then you'll have the people that could afford way more, and they pay you the bare minimum because they're like, well, those are your rates. So I am always very intentional with how I say my rates and who I say certain rates to. Yeah. And if certain people reach out to me, it can be a completely different rate. Because I know you have the money.
Yes.
And I know my work is good.
Yeah, it's totally worth it.
So I'm going to get the most out of it. And I think for a while I was very scared to do that.
Yeah.
And I don't know if it was lack of confidence or just kind of feeling bad for it.
Yeah.
But I'm like, if it's a brand and it's not just a one-on-one photographer.
Yep. You're like, I know you have the money.
And I know you need these images. And I know you reached out to me, which means I can fulfill those ideas.
And I can ask you to sort through that and give me the money that I deserve, and you know, you have the money in your pocket.
So I would just say, just don't ever be scared to negotiate. And if it goes to crap and they say, oh no, that's too much, then you can kind of like go back and forth if it's something you're really wanting and you would rather do that than lose out on the opportunity and the money. They're always going to be like, oh, okay. They're not just going to say, oh no, you try to charge me too much. Like, they'll usually always still take you. So I would just say, be confident in yourself, know your work. If someone is reaching out to you, they want you. Definitely. And they want you for a reason. So just know your worth. And obviously don't charge ridiculous rates. Don't do that.
Yeah, make sure you always, like, I've had a few photographers come to me and they're like, hey, Ashley, like, how much should I be charging? You know? And the thing is you really have to take into consideration how much experience you have. You have to take into consideration what equipment you're using, you know, like Savannah's done classes, she's done, you know, whatever. So she has that, like, equipment in herself to be able to be like, yes, okay, so I've done this, this, and this. This qualifies me to charge this much because my experience is so much more. So when I have photographers that come to me and they're like, hey, Ashley, I've only been shooting for 6 months, but you charge this price. How can I get there? And I'm like, I've been shooting for 4 years. Yeah, so I've been shooting for like 4 years. I'd probably say like 2.5 years professionally. And I really didn't start charging like and I don't even charge that much now.
So you do not, no.
And so
I don't bump up those prices, but people, especially in Arizona, they don't see it like that, but that's a whole other topic.
Yeah, and so I told all these photographers, I'm like, I went to tech school for 2 years. I've done all of these certain things, so you really have to be honest with yourself and not be one of these hotshot photographers that are like, I've only been shooting for 6 months, but
I'm great.
I'm fantastic. And,
Which some
people
are. Be honest.
Yes, but be honest with yourself. Some people get into it really quickly and they can charge, $600 straight out the boat. But the thing is that you usually are not there unless, you were really under wraps for a really long time. And then when you blow up, people are like, I've never seen this photographer before, but they're amazing.
But
and
holy shit.
They're probably been working on it for a really long time. So definitely just ask yourself what your experience is in the industry. Definitely, like, for me, for weddings, I don't charge nearly... Hey, baby. Sorry, my dog is wanting love. But...
Money?
Yes, she's like, I want money, too. But, yeah, so definitely, like, you just need to understand that everyone's going to look at you differently in a different light, and you have to make sure that you understand your own worth, whether, you don't lie to yourself and be like, I'm the shit, when you're not, and,
And then be disappointed when no one is wanting to pay those rates.
Exactly. And people are like, well, your work's not even that great, so, you need work. It's a process. And in time, you will get there. Like, I know for my first wedding, I was like, I have no clue what, I don't have
weddings are so intense as well.
I don't have any experience with weddings. I don't,
You have one chance to get it all right.
You have one chance.
And if you don't get that shot, them kissing, you are fired.
Yeah. So it's like,
that's
terrified.
Too intense for me.
I was terrified. So the first photo shoot I did for like $150.
Oh my God, for a whole wedding?
For a whole wedding. It wasn't huge. It definitely was more so like a small chapel. Like, there was probably... Excuse me. There was probably like 20 people there.
Oh, adorable.
Yeah, so it was definitely just... It's this thing where you have to, like, know. And, like, I'm booked for a wedding in November for 200 people. And, I'm charging them definitely what needs to be. Also, asking your clients what their budget is a huge help with trying to figure out. Because if someone's like, oh, yeah, okay, well, if I tell them my rate right off the get-go, but their budget is $1,000 and I'm only charging them $200, I'm like... So don't feel bad for your clients, all right?
And that's what I was saying. Like, if it's a brand, I'm not going to be scared for more because I know that you have it. If it's a one-on-one photographer, I usually try to stay away from that unless they're, like, a very big photographer and I know they have money. But it's, like, when it's more so, like, just one-on-one photographer, I feel like, okay. Like, we're just both trying to be creative. We're on the same level. You're not, no one's above. Not that I ever feel above, but I feel like brands, that's obviously above. You are a whole entire brand. Yep. Compared to just one person that's doing that as a side gig. So yeah, I would say from the modeling aspect, it's not much different than yours. Just try to be understanding. Know your worth, yes. But I mean, the model that I am today was not anywhere near the model that I was 5 years ago, nor I would not even be charging back then. So, like, realize that it takes time. It's not going to happen overnight. Right. Just because you've been modeling a couple months doesn't mean you can automatically start charging. And for, yes, some that works, or you get signed right away, or this or that, or things happens in these bigger collabs, then yes. But, I mean, be very honest with yourself as a model. And even for me today, doing stuff, like, I will be looking for paid work, and when I don't get it, I get so disappointed. I get so down on myself. I feel like, why am I not good enough? Why are these brands not wanting me? But it's just like, you also have to realize not everyone has a budget. And yeah, I'm getting DMs of like, I want to work with you, I want to this, I want to that. And it's all collabs. Yeah. And I'm like, well, I want paid work. Like, I'm a good model. I deserve this. I've been working for it for so long.
Right.
But you have to see both ends of the spectrum. And not get so down on yourself and realize that those big brands, they're not going to come reaching out to you. Free People isn't going to DM you because you tagged them in your picture. You're going to have to go send an email, like write out what you can do for them, show them your pictures that would be perfect for their brand, and get that work. And then that's where it all ties back into finances, because it's like, if you want to be getting paid the big bucks, if you want to be making a living off of this, you can't expect just because you put an Instagram story out there saying that you're looking for paid work that it's going to come to you. You're going to have to send out 100 emails and you're going to get 2 back. Like,
it's definitely a process,
a whole entire process for both ends. And just when you are trying to figure out your rate, like just standard for modeling, if you're just starting out, your rate is by the hour, kind of like any job. That's not really anything shocker. If they do it 30 minutes or whatever, it's an hour and a half, you just do it in half, like your rate, cut your price. They usually don't charge you for the time that you're there for hair and makeup, at least if you're starting out just getting paid and it's just another person. So like, just, that's what I'm saying, or just be smart with it, where you're not like trying to, like, a photographer asked me, like, do I have to pay you for like the 2 hours that you're in hair and makeup? And I was like, well, no, that'd be kind of shitty. And like, you're hiring people to do my hair and makeup, so no. But yeah, just be honest with yourself. Have certain rates for certain scenarios. When you're telling a photographer that, be open with it. Like, say, this is what I'm starting at. It can change. Like, I'm open. You know, kind of have a basic monologue for your pricing that you go off of, and know what your what your worth is. So that's, I mean, we can go like super deep and talk forever, but I think that's just kind of like the gist. How to kind of look at it the financy money way, how to be smarter about it, how to not lose out on clients because you're trying to be like stingy with it, or you're, I mean, not too confident, but you don't realize that, like, oh, I've only been doing this for a couple months, no wonder people aren't paying me $200 a shoot per hour. Like, you really have to reflect on yourself, see your growth, see how you can grow more. The people that are reaching out to you and not wanting to pay those rates will look at what they are doing. Like, just do your research and know that you are going to be the one that has to reach out to people.
Ask around, you know, just talk to people that you trust and that you know are where kind of you want to be and where, you know, you want to progress to, and that'll definitely just give you a good standby on where you want to get to and how you can kind of escalate your prices and, you know, work on yourself, and in time you will, you know,
You'll reach where you want to go as long as you are working for it and not expecting it. And, with the taxes, keep your receipts or get the apps.
Keep everything.
And don't feel bad for it. And also don't be stupid. Don't be like, oh, well, this new mascara, I have to get it. Like, just...
Yes, like things that you actually need and that you're actually purchasing for, you know, again, be honest with yourself and, you know...
Don't try and cheat the system.
Yeah, exactly. So just make sure that you're doing what's right and what's best for you, and, you know, you'll get that tax write-off, and it'll be a good day.
Know when to rent instead of just jumping into something.
Yes, definitely know when to get a piece of equipment that you have no clue how to use, and you're like, do I even really want this? And instead of making that giant purchase and then having to return it and just go through all that hassle, then, you know, you won't even get the full money back guarantee for your, you know, equipment that you're trying to purchase.
And then who knows what could happen.
Exactly. So just make sure, you know, rent, go experiment and discover what you want.
Or find friends in the industry that have it, go on set with them for a day. Like, be fine with not getting paid for helping out if that means that you get to learn and experience how to work that equipment. And then in return you can make the big investment, but definitely make the investment instead of buying the shitty equipment.
Yes. Because it will not keep working for the long run.
You're going to lose the money.
Out on a lot of money. So just make sure you stay on your stuff.
Stay on your finances. Ask for what you deserve.
Yes.
I don't know what I'm saying.
But...
I don't know. That was kind of just like a blurb of like randomness.
We definitely just wanted to pop back in and make sure that we are keeping you guys entertained because...
Giving you something.
Yeah, because we definitely are just trying to work on ourselves right now and make sure that we are okay.
Because we are not.
And mentally and physically. And we really do appreciate it. I've had a bunch of people actually message me telling me that they've been watching our stuff. So
yes, we appreciate it so much.
I love it. And thank you guys so much because we really, really appreciate it.
We do. But we hope to get back on a normal schedule.
Very
back
soon.
into it. We have a lot of story times that have happened to both of us just this past month. Like we kind of touched on in the beginning of this that we're gonna dive into.
Yes, and
that'll be like 5 podcasts within themselves.
Right. Yes.
So much shit has hit the fan. It is ridiculous, but so much has been good as well.
Things are
we're realizing a lot.
We're roller coastering right now, so.
And I hate roller coasters, but it's fine.
Yeah, we'll be okay.
We are fine. But we hope this helped at least someone figure out, at least something about rates or that keeping receipts is important.
Yes. So stay tuned. We love you guys so much. And if you guys are on our YouTube channel right now, go ahead and click that subscribe button.
Yes.
Because we need more followers.
Yes. Share. Follow us on Instagram. You need to become part
of our We Need to Talk army. We need a name.
I don't know.
We need to figure something out. I don't know.
We need to talk ... stomach drops army.
Yes. So definitely keep track. Click the little bell. I don't even know if that works. But if you guys are listening on our SoundCloud, please stay tuned. Listen to our other podcasts. And we love you guys so much.
Thank you guys for listening.
Have a great day.
ASMR. Can you smell the alcohol on my breath?
Oh, yeah. Just kidding. I can't smell anything right now because I'm sick. So
we love us.
We love you. Stay tuned, and we will see you guys on the flip side.
Have a great day.
Yay! We out!